This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. 20 years after nearly being shuttered by the U.S. Department of Defense, Naval Surface Warfare Center Crane has become a key player in the federal government's strategy to outpace its foreign rivals in the booming microelectronics industry. The military installation is one of three entities leading the Microelectronics Commons Program, a Defense Department initiative to create regional innovation hubs across the country. Radius Indiana CEO Jeff Kyle.
Increasingly, the Pentagon turns to Crane, and subsequently that brings not just pride for the region and knowing that Crane does so much for the nation, but it also does bring tangible economic development opportunities as more and more firms in these emerging fields want to draw closer to Crane, to have access to the expertise, access to the contracting authority, access to the cluster of talent that's building up in southern Indiana.
As a result of the new hub, Kyle says he's anticipating rapid employment outside of Crane among the defense sector employees who are looking for specialized talent. Two Indiana-made products are slated to square off in the final round of the Indiana Chamber of Commerce's Coolest Thing Made in Indiana contest. Hoosier Racing Tire in Plymouth and Hard Truth Distilling Company in Nashville rose to the top in the Chamber's annual single elimination bracket tournament. Voting is open now through 9 p.m. on Thursday. Marian University has received a $500,000 grant from the IU Health Community Impact Investment Fund to expand the City Connects program at Muncie Community Schools. The program is designed to provide K-12 students with a plan to address issues they may be facing outside of the classroom, such as housing instability, food insecurity, or a lack of access to health care. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to Engage Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. You won't want to miss our fireside chat with Governor Holcomb and the Michael A. Carroll Award presentation to Mitch Daniels. Plus, we'll dive into the important issues shaping the region's economy. It's December 6th at the JW Marriott in downtown Indy. RSVP at ibj.com/engage.
A former law enforcement officer who knows well the challenge of performing field sobriety tests while traffic whizzes by has invented a device that automates the most complicated portion of the test, taking the pressure off the cop and producing more reliable evidence for convictions.
The field sobriety test includes three portions, but the horizontal gaze nystagmus, or HGN test, in which the suspect tracks the officer's finger with his eyes, is the most accurate in determining if a driver is under the influence. It's also the most complicated for the officer to perform. Winnemac resident and former patrol officer Peter Zart has created a device that performs the test for the officer. It includes a video camera that sits on top of a T-shaped pole. LED lights create a sliding light for the suspect to track with his eyes, and Zart says the camera records the suspect's eyes throughout the test.
We're basically just removing the officer from having to perform the test. Our device just does the test for the officer. The officer still needs to watch for clues, but since his attention isn't divided as much, he's able to focus more on gathering those clues.
Zart says the video recording is better evidence for officers to take to court, and that 10 police departments, some in Indiana, are already in line to purchase it. Kylie Valletta, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Becker's Hospital Review is out with its list of the 330 top hospitals for physician communication, and several Indiana facilities made the cut. The hospitals were rated on how well patients feel that their physicians explained things clearly, listened carefully to them, and treated them with courtesy and respect. Indiana's representatives include hospitals in Angola, Peru, Linton, Franklin, Knox, Indianapolis, Mishawaka, and Rochester. You can view the full list at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Longtime Indy news anchor Debbie Knox is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.